Welcome. Welcome to ALPOUGH. Thank you for coming in. Those who are coming in now, those who are coming in later, those who are coming in months and years from now, I want to welcome you to a place of spiritual awareness. I hope you're having a great day. It's really hot here in Arizona. I think it's 113 degrees. Feels like 120, but then again, I love the heat. I went out biking in it this morning. It was a swell 101, but it's better than 113. I figured that was easier to do it then. If you watched some of my video yesterday, I talked about exercises, the prize. If you want to help yourself out, get up, exercise. Even if it's walking in place, even if it's sitting down, holding a few weights, okay? Again, I appreciate you all coming in. Today, I want to talk about, well, first of all, welcome to ALPOUGH. This is number 110. We have an announcement here. There's going to be a new time change starting Monday. Today is Friday. Starting Monday, we're going to be coming on at noon. So it'll be noon Pacific. Really, it has a lot to do with my day and the things that I have to do because I have a life outside of this, including a home that always needs work and all kinds of stuff. But again, I'm not here to talk about me. Let's talk about you. So the new time is going to be noontime Pacific starting on Monday. Today we're talking about obsession or depression. Is there a difference or are they the same? Okay. Obsession. The state of being obsessed with someone or something. She cared for him with a devotion bordering on obsession. An idea or thought that continually preoccupies or intrudes on a person's mind. Plural noun, obsessions. He was in the grip of an obsession he was powerless to resist. All right, so I want to talk first of all about obsession. Now, I'm sure you have met people who are obsessed with their depression. And whatever that is that they're depressed about, maybe they don't feel like they're better than somebody, or for example, they got a raw break that might have happened to them years ago. And they sit around and they dwell on it. And then when you talk to them, every time you meet, they go on what they are obsessed about and how it makes them feel depressed. And they don't want to admit that they're obsessed. If you try and steer them some way, they might ignore you. So for example, if you know someone who's been in a emotional, mentally cruel relationship, or even a physical one, but let's kind of dwell on the emotional, all right? Physical is something that can be done and then the cops are called and you've got all this other stuff. Emotional abuse, you don't call a cop on. You can't call a cop and say, hey, he's been emotionally abusive to me. Well, what did he say? He said I was ugly. Well, ma'am, did he hit you? No. Well, ma'am, then there's nothing I can do. Okay, here, I don't know why you called me. Call us back when it gets physical. So then you get the phone call on how they're emotionally abusive to them, or even more, someone else calls you and has to tell you that they're hiding this emotional abuse. But because they're obsessed with certain things, being alone, You understand? Being the status quo of being alone. Nobody wants to die alone. And not being able to get to have someone in your life, even though they're abusive, you're still obsessed with them to the place where you will put up with anything. I'm going to replace you. I'm going to replace you. You watch. I'm going to get a younger woman. Okay? If you don't give me this money. And the fear of being alone is and can be an obsession. This is why people usually go from one relationship to another. Okay? They're obsessed with not being alone. And they don't give themselves an opportunity to be on their own, to decide what they want, and to be an adult of their mind, an adult of their thought, adult of their decisions, to make a better relationship. But if you're used to that, then you're used to it. If you're used to being abused, then you're going to continue to be abused. Then there's another person who might actually have some type of illness, but they are obsessed with the being sick and nobody likes them. Nobody likes them. And so it comes out, and when you give them the passionate compassion to listen to them, and if you don't agree everything about them, then they get angry with you. And these are friends that you have to identify they're obsessive. Because what ends up happening is they bring you down. See, people, when you're up on a chair, all right, you're on a chair, it's much easier to pull you down off that chair than it is for you to pull somebody up. And it is true. Misery loves company. And you know what else miserable people love? They love to bring down people who are actually being productive and overcoming their issues and getting over it and not being angry. These are the ones that they attract to. And if you're someone who's kind and compassionate, you've already run into these type of people. They'll take advantage of you listening to them. And yet, they won't listen to you. If you try or attempt to give them some of the wisdom that maybe you've learned through your experience, they don't want to hear it. And you'll see this happen over and over again. And then this is how you end it. Because as soon as I understand that about somebody, there's no sense wasting my time anymore. You want to be in this pool. I need to go to another side of the pool because I don't have the time nor desire to let you bring me down off my chair. Because obsessive people will do that. Obsessive people will drain your energy out of you. They'll talk to you for an hour and interrupt you every time you want to speak. People like this are not unusual. If you want to help them, you have to put them on a timer. Okay? You look when they start talking and you see that they talk for 10 minutes. And then afterwards you tell them, now, you just talked for 10 minutes. And I listened to every word. Now, you mind if I talk to you for 10 minutes? We'll put it on a timer. And then you'll see whether or not they want to listen to you. That's really when you know. Then when you start talking about their conversation, and how you want to assist them, the moment they interrupt you, that's when you know. You can come back at them and say, you interrupted me. That's not our agreement. Obsessive people cannot keep agreements, by the way, because they're emotionally distraught and focused on the obsession. How do you know someone's obsessed? Well, there's different kinds of obsession. I mean, I can tell you when, what I think was my obsession. This guy, the king of pop, who, well, we see what I got on. You see, this is getting ready to be the anniversary of his death. He died in 2009, so we're going on 12 years since he left. So now during the 80s, of course, 70s and 80s, when Michael was making his thing, I was living in Los Angeles, and I wasn't the only one. Everybody wanted to dance like Michael, okay? Then I started going to Burning Man, and I would have my costume dressed as Michael Jackson. This is usually my top I wear, okay? And I had the glasses and the hair and the, just so I could let everybody know he was the king. But now that's different, all right? I don't spend my time talking about Michael, although I love Michael. So, but that's a different type of flavor, all right? So we're talking about someone who's just totally obsessed. Not, I never drove to Michael's house or anything like that, although everybody knew where the Jacksons lived. If you lived in Los Angeles, you knew they lived on Havenhurst. You can see their house from the freeway. So it wasn't like nobody didn't know where he lived, okay? Well, that was a long time ago. Then he got Neverland and Everland and, all that stuff. But rest in peace, Michael. Now, depression. I was more about the obsession than I am about the depression, all right? So depression is a constant feeling of sadness and loss of interest, which stops you doing your normal activities. Now, I want to interject here. When depression, now I've helped a lot of people with depression. All right. Now, the first thing I always ask somebody, has someone recently died? And, I'll never, a friend of mine who's a great leader came over and he told me he was depressed. And I asked him, why are you depressed? He said, I don't know. I said, has anything recently happened in your life? He said, well, my father died 2 weeks ago. I'm like, well, there you go. He said, well, I shouldn't be depressed. I said, but you don't get it. You don't realize it. I'm going to open your mind up here, bro. Mourning. Have you been mourning your father? Yes. Depression is a residual of mourning. So it's not that you're depressed, my friend. You're in mourning. And it just clicked on him. Just clicked. Wow, I'm mourning. See, we're taught when somebody dies, 3 days later, you're supposed to be fine. That's not how it works. The closer you are to somebody, the more you don't know how much you love somebody really until they pass. So I recommend to you, if there's someone you need to make up for, like your mother or your father, make up with them. Because one day when they're gone, they're gone. And even more loved ones. So depression can be part of mourning. So if you have ongoing depression, you want to identify the source. I'm not going to go about identifying the source because it's such a long talk here, but I will. How to get to the source. All right. All right. So now, different types of depression exist with symptoms ranging from relatively minor to severe. Generally, depression does not result from a single event, but from a mix of events and factors. But it also can be a single event, like losing someone. The reason why I emphasize that because of my loss. Of my losses last year. It piled up. But you know the thing was, I never thought I was in depression. I was just in mourning. Because I fell back on Sophia's teaching. Mourning is different. Mourning is loving. Mourning. And when that love that you give so much to is ripped from you, you see, your energy, your spirit goes out 30 feet all the way around. They can pick your signal up from 30 feet away. They have instruments that has measured it. So when you have this connected where you're within each other's spiritual field for a long time, like it was with Izzy, my dog, when she left, or my father, who was similar, it like ripped part of my, literally my spirit away. It ripped it. And this is what happens to us. It gets ripped from us. And then that is when you know how much you love them, because of this separation. And part of that mourning can be seen more as depression, because I was asked that. Well, are you depressed? No. I'm in mourning. And I don't know how long it's going to last. You see? And that's what you have to give yourself. Depression comes and goes, guys. You can be depressed over something that happened the day before, but it's how you think about it. And it's the word also that you state. So you could be just angry as opposed to being depressed. You could be more just sad as opposed to being depressed, because you're feeling it. See, you want to feel it, so you'll know how to get out of it. Now, and again, what happens can be this turns into an obsession, in the sense that this is who I am, and I'm going to stay like this. Now, that's different when you decide to make a decision. I know I'm going to be down here for a little bit. I know I'm going to be down. Okay? But like my daddy said, and I'm saying to you, you get knocked down. My Father's words and the Holy Spirit's words. Get back up, son. Get back up. Get back up, daughter. Get back up. We all get knocked down. It's how we get back up. So if you're down and out, you may be taking that count of 10. 1, 2, now you're getting your head. 3, you know where you're at. 4, you know you got to get up. 5, get up. 6, now you get your head straight. Is it clear enough? Can you do the gloves? Got the gloves? All right, get back in the fight. But life is about battles. We're battling every day, guys. That's why I'm here. I'm here to share. So if it's just anything that can lift you up, then I've done my duty to mother and country. I love you. We got to get going. We got to keep moving. People who are obsessed over a long term need therapy. That's no doubt about it. Okay. Do these two intercept? Not really. Sometimes they do, but more than likely, no. They just sometimes seem similar, but they're likely not. So I'm giving you my take on this. My inspiration is from Sophia, the Holy Spirit, the holy wisdom that she brings upon, that she wants you to be the best you. And that's what I want for you, to be the best you. Please, like you can, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I'm at 275. I started April 1st. Believe me, I am still here. And I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be starting at noon, and we're going to go from there. But I'm going to do 6:30 tonight, and then we're going to start back up on Monday at noon. So ALPOUGH, that's me. First name Michael. Call me Comment, and I love you. And I'm going to see you again at 6:30 with another inspirational message to keep us all going. How? Together. 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 Peace out for now.